If you guys missed Monday Night Raw tonight, you guys did not miss nothing at all tonight. You figure that we're 6 weeks away to WrestleMania. We're 6 weeks away. You figured by now we would get some type of build going into WrestleMania. Mind you, the Elimination Chamber that we saw back on Saturday night was the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania. So we're now on the road, literally and figuratively, to WrestleMania. If you missed Monday Night Raw tonight, I do not blame you at all. This was a complete missable show. Outside of a couple of, a little dose of good and a lot of bad. We'll go over it here on the Raw review tonight for your Monday, February 20th, 2023. If you guys don't know who I am Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. If you guys missed Monday Night Raw tonight, just leave a thumbs up. Because I don't blame you at all if you missed the show tonight. Leave a comment down below if you did watch the show tonight. What was your thoughts of the show tonight? And if you're new to the channel, be sure that you hit that subscribe button down below and turn that bell, guys, for all notifications. If you guys missed out on my Elimination Chamber review, it's live on the channel right now, as well as Smackdown review from this past Friday, AEW Dynamite from this past Wednesday, and Raw review from last week. Link to all these videos will be in the annotation in the upper right corner of your screen, as well as down below in the description. If you guys want to follow me on social media, please do so. Twitter, @TheRealChris with 2 E's and 2 S's, and TikTok as well. Follow me on TikTok, @TheRealChris, 2 E's and 2 S's as well. I've been posting a lot of clips so far from, the videos that I've been uploading for the last week, posting it on TikTok. I've been getting a couple good views, really good views. So, I appreciate all the love from TikTok and also on Twitter. We're going to review Monday Night Raw tonight from Ottawa, Canada tonight. So, Raw kicked off with Sami Zayn. Obviously, we all figured that. Raw will kick off with Sami Zayn tonight. So Sami Zayn's music plays and he makes his way to the ring. He gets on the mic and says he's feeling a lot of feelings. He says the one feeling that comes out more than anything is gratitude. The ovation he received means a lot to him. He says the other thing he is feeling is guilt after coming so close to beating Roman Reigns at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view just 48 hours ago. He says he felt like he didn't finish the story, but he realized the story is never over. He says they are entering the final chapter, and it's not just about him. He says there is one person he needs to talk to, and he calls out Kevin Owens. This, folks, is getting interesting, if you ask me. Kevin Owens' theme song plays, and he comes out to the ring to a huge pop. Sami says there is so much he wants to say to Kevin, and he thanks him. He wants to apologize, but they are past the point of words at this point. And I agree with Sami. They are literally past the point of words at this point. He says there is no coming back from what they said, but always said there is nothing more important than taking down the bloodline. I agree. At this point, in juncture in the WrestleMania build, you got to start taking down the bloodline at this point in juncture. He says he will not rest until he sees that the bloodline comes crumbling down. We'll get to that in a second. He then says they each couldn't do it alone, but they can do it together, Sami says. Owens says he doesn't need his apology because he didn't help Sami, but he didn't for him because his family watched him get beaten by the bloodline. He says he is fine fighting the bloodline by himself because he is still done with Sami. He asks Sami to ask Jay for help to take down the bloodline and then leaves the ring. And from the other segment ends from there. I said this on Saturday night when I was reviewing Roman versus Sami for the Undisputed title. Why did Kevin Owens take so long to come out and help Sami after the match when Sami really used Kevin's help during the match? I was one of those people in the community who legitimately said that on Saturday night. You can go back and watch. I said, why didn't Kevin Owens come out and help Sami Zayn potentially win the title and make the odds even, I guess, in some way, shape, or form? But instead, you want to wait till after the match to help Sami Zayn when Sami could have used your help during the match. A big, larger gap there, if you ask me. I think we are going to get, at some way, shape, or form, in the coming weeks going into WrestleMania, I think Kevin Owens is going to realize, hey, Sami's right. Okay, let's take down the bloodline together. And it's going to create a big WrestleMania moment when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win the Undisputed Tag Team titles at WrestleMania from the Usos. Now, I also asked this on Saturday night in the Chamber review. Did Jey Uso cost Sami Zayn the world title without really doing much? Now we know why Kevin Owens did what he did on Saturday, because Kevin Owens basically said, without telling Sami Zayn, karma's a bitch. You watched me get beat down by the bloodline at the Royal Rumble. Now I'm going to watch you get beat down at the Chamber pay-per-view. Karma's a bitch. That's what Kevin Owens said to Sami Zayn without even saying it. Now, Triple H needs to know, how does Sami Zayn get in Kevin Owens' good graces? It's going to be a while. It's going to take a lot to cover. But we have 6 weeks, so Hunter, get going. Because no matter what happens, I think Kevin Owens will eventually team up with Sami and win the Undisputed Tag Team titles at WrestleMania. I think so. It's just, how do we get there? How do we get Kevin Owens to team up with Sami Zayn? That's going to be the big question. And SmackDown on Friday is going to be very important also on SmackDown Friday. Does Jey Uso show up? And if he does, he has to explain himself. Is he part of the bloodline or he's not? I have a hunch that's telling me I think Jey Uso really did cost Sami Zayn the world title without really doing anything. Because if you really think about it and you watch the pay-per-view back, Sami was going to spear Roman, but Jey Uso took the hit for Roman. That's going to be a big, integral part of what's happening on SmackDown Friday night. SmackDown may be a very important show come Friday. It may be a very important segment on Friday night on SmackDown. But Sami got his stuff in. I'm going to say eventually Kevin Owens will team up with Sami. He will eventually. It's just a matter of how do we get there. So Baron Corbin attacks Sami Zayn from behind while he's on the entrance ramp. He's saying goodbye to everybody, saying goodbye to Ottowa, Canada. Commercial break happens. Baron Corbin comes out to the ring, grabs a microphone, says Sami didn't deserve to be in the same ring as Roman Reigns. He also said he was the last person to beat Roman Reigns. That is factual. 2019 TLC. I covered that show on the channel. I remember that. Baron says Reigns destroyed Sami in front of everyone. He says Sami's story is over and he embarrassed himself and his hometown because he's a complete failure. Sami charges for the ring and attacks Corbin. He sends him out to the ring. The match ended up becoming official between Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin. Now, did you really think for 1 second? Now sit there and ask yourself this one question. You're watching the review and you're asking yourself, did Sami end up beating Baron Corbin? If you guess yes, You're absolutely 1,000% correct. Sami was not losing twice in Canada. So by default there, Sami wins. Sami wins with the Hoover kick. This match was short. This match was just obviously short, if you ask me. The match was short. Sami wins with a Hoover kick. That's just shit. Zayn attacks Corbin outside the ring. Corbin fights back and attacks Zayn. Corbin with a backbreaker cover. 1-2 kick out. We go to commercial. Corbin picks up Zayn, but he escapes and kicks Corbin. He then hits an elbow on Corbin. He does it again. Sami with the tornado DDT. 1-2 kick out. Corbin picks up Sami. No, Corbin sent outside and Sami dives onto him. He sends it to the ring, goes for the Huluva kick, but Corbin counters with a clothesline. Corbin attacks Sami and hits deep 6. Love that move. Cover 1-2 kick out. Corbin's running to the opposite end of the ring. On the turnbuckle, Sami chases him, hits the Huluva kick, goes for the cover 1-2-3. Sami Zayn beats Baron Corbin. Do you care about Baron Corbin? I'm assuming you don't. Sami beats Corbin. Do you care about Baron Corbin? Absolutely not. Moving on to the show. Rhea Ripley is interviewed backstage, and she says that they have unfinished business with Edge and Beth Phoenix, but she is focusing on WrestleMania. Dominic says it's not worth talking about Beth and Edge. When asked about Charlotte Flair, Rhea says Charlotte can keep living in 2020 because she refuses to see that she is the best bloody woman in WWE. Oh my God, what a sailor mouth. Holy shit. She said that her place is walking out as SmackDown Women's Champion. I do think, in my honest opinion, I do think that Rhea beat Charlotte at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's title. I think so. Rhea has to write her redemption story for Charlotte beating her at WrestleMania 3 years ago. I have Rhea beat Charlotte 10 times over at WrestleMania. The simple fact that Charlotte Flair is your SmackDown Women's Champion after being out for 7 months, it's fucking disgusting to me. Charlotte comes back on the last SmackDown of 2022. She beats Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's title. Who the fuck is Charlotte Flair to not only come back after a 7-month hiatus? Who the fuck is she to come back and get a SmackDown Women's title and beat Ronda Rousey the way she beat her? What are you, stupid? Who books this shit? I would not have booked that if you asked me. I would not have booked that if you asked me. Rhea says they will have to wait and watch. They'll have to wait and watch what happens on SmackDown. Dominic says he will tag along since his dad has a match on SmackDown. Are we getting a little seed planted for Dominic and Rhea at WrestleMania? Or do we get Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio against Dominic and fucking whatchamacallit? Karrion Cross. Forgot his name for a second. My deepest apologies. Could we possibly get either a one-on-one match with Rey and Dominic, or do we get a tag team match? Santos and Rey against Dominic and Karrion Cross. I don't know. I'm good with either one of those two. I'm good with it. I don't mind. I wouldn't mind neither one. I wouldn't mind. So Captain Kelly interviews Austin Theory, who says he is banged up, but he is here because he is the champ. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. He says he put Seth down. What's really bothering him is that everyone is talking about John Cena coming back to WWE in 2 weeks in Boston. He asked for some respect. Austin says he has a U.S. Championship match, which is great because he gets to beat Edge, and then he will go on to WrestleMania. News broke out earlier today that we're getting John Cena on Monday Night Raw in 2 weeks' time in Boston, Massachusetts, in his hometown. Good. Does this confirm to me that John Cena is going to be competing at WrestleMania this year? I think so. We're in the middle of WrestleMania season. Cena's coming back in Boston, in his hometown. Austin Theory is still the United States champion after tonight. I don't know. I think we're getting Cena in Theory for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. I think so. And to be honest with you, grab me a popcorn, grab me an ice cold beverage, and I'm down with that matchup. We get Dolph Ziggler versus Mustafa Ali on Monday Night Raw tonight. Now, I know you're watching the review and you're seeing my face reaction. Ask me if I care. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Dolph and I love Mustafa Ali. Don't get me wrong. But ask me if I care. I don't care. What are they fighting over? Mustafa Ali wins. I'm not really gonna go over the matchup, but all I can tell you is Dolph was going for a finisher. Ali counters and rolled him up for a win. They fought for like what, 5 minutes? 6 minutes? That's it. Couple moves here and there. Finisher, counter, roll up, win. I don't know. I just don't know. I guess if you ask me. Kathy Kelly's backstage. She had a busy show tonight. She is backstage with The Miz. The Miz. And Maurice, of course, because we're in Canada. Of course, we gotta have Maurice. Maurice hands him an anniversary gift. Miz is shocked by the gift, and he says the news will be broken on Miz TV next week in Grand Rapids, Michigan, on Raw next week. He dismisses Kathy, who's trying to ask him about Seth Rollins. Miz says Seth was too big for his big boots last week, and he is glad Logan took him down, and he calls Seth's loss. He again says the gift given by Maurice is awesome. I wonder what that envelope is. What's in it? Find out next week on Raw. Cody is shown backstage, walking, coming towards the ring. We go to commercial break. Coming out of commercial break, Cody Rhodes' theme song plays, and he walks to the ring. Now, if you watch the show tonight, for most of you that did Cody get any type of reaction on the show tonight? Especially during his entrance? I think so. I mean, the only part I heard was people were singing along his theme song with the "Whoa!" That's it. That's all I heard. Ottowa, you was pretty quiet tonight. Ottowa. Pretty quiet. Montreal was making all types of noise Friday and Saturday. Ottowa, man, you are quiet tonight. He gets on the mic, but before he can start to say anything, he's interrupted by the wise man, Paul Heyman, on the Titantron, who introduces himself holding Roman Reigns' undisputed WWE Universal Championship title belt. Cody asks where he is. Heyman says he is backstage. After Heyman says he is backstage, Cody asks him to come out. Heyman says he was mauled by Sami Zayn. He says this weekend was a tragedy for him. He says the true tragedy of this story will befall on Cody. Heyman says Cody can't beat Roman Reigns. Heyman says that if Cody hypothetically beats Roman Reigns, what his life will be. What his life will be like. He continues to say Roman has the wise man. He says if he beats Reigns, he won't have Paul Heyman with you. He says he will have to spend 200 days a year defending the title, and he will be busy promoting WWE. Heyman, Dustin said his father was never home when he was home. He then asks if that is a sacrifice Cody is willing to make. Heyman assures Cody that is when he will find out that his WrestleMania dreams are his own personal nightmare. Cody says Roman is great, But he has seen this play before and asks him not to send Heyman again. I do agree, though. Roman should not be sending Paul Heyman again. And I'll tell you why in just a second. He says Roman is without a doubt the greatest undisputed Universal Champion, but he has to finish the story by beating Reigns at WrestleMania. This segment between Paul Heyman and Cody was alright. It was okay. Was it better than the first time? Meaning, no. No, not by a long shot. But I'll tell you this, though. Monday Night Raw, and this is just my honest opinion here. WWE, for almost a year now, does not have the WWE Championship on Monday Night Raw. And I get it. Reigns had both titles. I get it. Reigns won the title last year against Brock. I get it. Reigns has been world champion. He's been Universal Champion for almost 3 years. He's been WWE Champion for almost a year by the time we got to WrestleMania. Monday Night Raw, as of late, desperately needs the WWE Championship. This segment tonight, like I said, was alright. But they need to go to the next level. Why? We've seen Paul Heyman talk to Cody Rhodes not once, but twice. In a 3-week span. In a 3-week span. We've seen Heyman and Cody encounter each other. Now it's time for Reigns to come to Monday Night Raw and confront Cody. And it needs to happen ASAP. We have 6 weeks to go to WrestleMania. 6 weeks. We legitimately, folks, have 6 weeks to go until the biggest match in Cody's career at WrestleMania to finish this story. Why haven't we gotten an encounter between Reigns and Cody tonight? We could have used Reigns on Monday Night Raw tonight to confront Cody Rhodes. But no, you sent Paul Heyman again. And I don't like that. I loved it the first time. The second time around, not okay with it. Again, this segment was okay. It was all right. But Roman Reigns needs to start showing up on Monday Night Raw. He needs to start showing up on Monday Night Raw, folks. And that's just me. I don't know how anybody else feels, but this is just me. It's going to be pretty difficult for the next 6 weeks for Hunter to get us to care about this match. It's going to be fucking difficult for Hunter to make us care about this match. And I'll tell you why. Because this Sami Zayn story right now with Kevin Owens and the fact that he wants to take down the bloodline is going to be a bigger story and a better story than Cody and Roman right now. It's going to be to a point where the fans are going to react for Sami more and they're going to say, fuck Sami taking out the fucking bloodline. I want Sami in the main event of WrestleMania. And that is not what you want. That is not what you want, folks. You put Cody in this position to win the Royal Rumble, to have him potentially beat Roman Reigns. You don't want to recreate fucking WrestleMania 30 all over again with Sami Zayn. And like I said, I love Sami Zayn. Don't get me wrong. But you people thought that Sami Zayn was going to beat Reigns on Saturday night, and it didn't happen. So what makes you think, folks, that Sami is going to get added to this match to make it a triple threat? They already planted the seed with Sami and KO potentially tagging up against the Usos at WrestleMania. What more do you want out of Sami? You want Sami to get added to the match to make it a triple threat? I hope you know, folks, even let's say, hypothetically, let's say that does happen. Let's say, hypothetically, Sami gets added to make it a triple threat at WrestleMania. Sami's not winning the world title. Sami's not winning the world title. Hell no. He's not. Hell no, he's not. Sammy can get added to the matchup. He's still not winning. Cody could potentially pin Sammy and protect Roman. For the fact, oh, Cody won the world title, but he didn't pin Roman Reigns. Cody has to beat Reigns at WrestleMania. This needs to be a one-on-one match and let Sammy and KO take down the Usos at WrestleMania. And hell, if Sammy wants to fucking sit there and say, oh, his mission is to take out the bloodline, is to crumble the bloodline, have them wrestle at night 2. Have them wrestle at night 2, and then we get Roman and Cody back to back. The bloodline should be featured in the main event of WrestleMania. In the last 2 matches of WrestleMania. This segment was okay. But I really want to start seeing Roman and Cody go promo for promo here. Have them take shots at each other. That's what I want to see. Make me care for this matchup. Make me care. We get Asuka versus Nikki Cross, one-on-one. Did you really think Asuka will lose this match? Be real, folks. Did you really think for 1 second that Asuka is losing this match? She just became the #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship. She's not losing this match at all. She's not. Asuka versus Nikki Cross, one-on-one. Asuka wins here. I will cover this match coming out of the commercial break. Asuka with backhanded strikes to Nikki. Asuka with a German suplex. Asuka's caught up in the apron, and Nikki attacks her. Nikki climbs the top rope, but it's stopped. Asuka hits the DDT from the top rope. Cover 1-2 kick out. By the way, Bianca Belair was at ringside, watching Asuka go against Nikki Cross. Both women exchange strikes. Asuka kicks Nikki in the head, goes for Asuka lock, but Nikki picks her up, slams her. Asuka locks her submission hold as Nikki Cross submits. Asuka wins. She defeats Nikki Cross via submission. We're getting Bianca and Asuka at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's title. Again, I've been saying this for the last 3 videos. This match should fucking bang. This match should fucking bang. Should be a banger. I can't wait. I think Asuka wins at WrestleMania. Should be one hell of a matchup. Should be one hell of a match. This match between Asuka and Nikki Cross was okay for what it was. It was pretty good, if you ask me. It was pretty good. Asuka and Bianca Belair stare down each other. Belair holds the title and points at the WrestleMania sign. Blue liquid comes out of Asuka's mouth, which scares Bianca Belair. I said this, folks. Throughout Bianca Belair's entitled title reign as Raw Women's Champion, she hasn't faced anybody like Asuka. I've been saying this for the last week and a half now. Been saying this for the last week. Bianca has not faced no one like Asuka. And I think Asuka will win the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania at SoFi Stadium. What night will it take place? If I was to really guess, they could put this night too. They could put this match night too. Sure. Carmella's interviewed backstage, who says she hasn't thought about WrestleMania, but she has thought about Asuka. We'll get to that later on because they already announced the card for next week. She says she will deliver a receipt to Asuka. I wonder what that would be. Kathy Kelly then interviews Seth Rollins again. She was a busy woman all night. Who says 2 times Logan has ruined his WrestleMania plans, the Royal Rumble, and back on Saturday night. He then says the joke is on Logan. He states that he is going to find Logan Paul and hurt him. But since Logan isn't here, he will settle for The Miz. I think we're getting Seth to Logan Paul at WrestleMania. Again, the match should be a banger. I love Seth. Logan Paul, I'm not really a fan of Logan Paul. Also, his brother, I'm not really a fan of. But I could respect Logan Paul's work ethic in the ring. I could respect it. Really good is Logan Paul. But again, I just don't like him. That's just me. We go to commercial break. MVP is backstage and he is calling Brock a coward for getting disqualified on Saturday night. Almost is with him. Oh, I said almost. Omos is with him. MVP says Omos is issuing a challenge to face Lesnar, and he asked it to show up next week at Grand Rapids, Michigan next week to accept the challenge. You mean to tell me that we're getting Omos and fucking Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? Really? Really? Let me tell you this right now. Brock is great. Don't get me wrong. This cowboy shit, Brock, has been fucking astonishing. I love Brock. Don't get me wrong. You guys know how I feel about Brock Lesnar. This is the best you can come up with for Brock Lesnar? Really? Omos at WrestleMania? Are you fucking kidding me? Let me tell you this right now, folks. If we are getting Omos and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, I swear on everything that is holy in God's green earth, that will be my bathroom break, my shower break, my cooking break. You have got to be kidding me. Seriously. Omos and Brock at WrestleMania. Please, no. No. I think that would be legitimately one of the worst WrestleMania matches of all time. And that's a fucking understatement, because I fucking hate Omos. Omos is just not good. He's tall. Don't get me wrong. He's tall. But at the same time, come on. This is the best you can come up with for Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I said this on Saturday night. Gunther should have defended the Intercontinental Championship at that show. You could have gave me Lesnar and Lashley at WrestleMania. Now I have a better question. What is Bobby Lashley doing at WrestleMania? What is Bobby Lashley, the Almighty, doing at WrestleMania? What the fuck is this booking decision? Omos and Brock Lesnar. You have got to be fucking kidding me. Really? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. That is fucking dog shit, if you ask me. We get The Miz versus Seth Rollins, one-on-one. The Miz theme song plays, he comes out, Seth Rollins' music comes out, he comes in the ring. The match begins and Rollins attacks Miz in the corner. Miz rolls out of the ring, Seth goes after him, but slams him onto the announce table. He then sends Miz into the barricade before sending him into the ring. Seth attacks Miz and sends him out to the ring. He then lifts a sliding drop kick on the Miz. Miz with a DDT. Rollins kicks out at 2. We go to commercial break. Coming back for commercial break, Rollins with a roll-up but no pinfall. Miz regains advantage by attacking him in the corner. Rollins fights back with a clothesline. Seth attacks Miz, hits a couple of clotheslines. Seth with a super kick and goes for the pedigree, but Miz escapes. Rollins hung under the ropes, but Miz plants him. Miz goes for skull crusher finale, but Rollins escapes. Miz goes for the running knee strike, cover 1-2 kick out. Miz attacks Seth. He goes for the kick to the head, but he is caught and Seth punches him. He knocks him down, hits a stomp, does it again and again and again and again, and the referee stops the match. Seth Rollins wins due to referee stoppage. Hashtag knockout. Rollins wins. I don't see Rollins at all losing to WrestleMania as well. But I cannot wait until we get Rollins and Logan Paul in a promo one-on-one. That should be fucking great. That should be fucking awesome. I can't wait. Carmella's backstage and she has granted her match by Adam Pearce, by the way. His phone rings and it's Chelsea Green. She's complaining about being in the wrong place. Adam says he will fix that and hangs up on her. Alpha Academy is backstage with Bronson Reed. Appears behind him. Chad says he is getting ready to model, and Bronson asks him to model a body cast. Owens tells him not to speak to Gable like that. Then we go to commercial break. Bayley's in the ring with damage control as she welcomes everyone to the show before insulting the audience. Bayley's segment is called Ding Dong Hello. She then said that she decided to pick herself up and spend today with her family. Damage control since it's family day in Canada. I did not know that at all. Thank you, Bayley. She then said the crowd doesn't love them like she does. She asked Dakota how it feels to be the greatest women's tag team champion of all time. Really, Bayley? Really? Really? I can think of another tag team who was the greatest, who was the worst. I can think of another team. But I can for sure think of another team who was the greatest women's tag team champion of all time. Bayley and Sasha. Oh, I'm sorry. Mercedes Moné. By the way, congrats to Mercedes Moné on winning the IWGP Women's Championship on Saturday night at Battle of the Valley against... I forgot her name. Fuck. Damn it. Shit. You guys know who I mean. Yeah, so where was I? Here, okay. Dakota says they couldn't be here without her. Becky Lynch's theme song plays as she comes out with a mic. She says it's been a long time since they defended the titles. Becky says she wants to take those tag team titles. Bayley's asked who will team with Lynch. Becky says there was one person she was thinking of. I doubt she was thinking Lita. She was probably thinking Trish, if you ask me. Lita's theme song plays as she comes out. Bayley says Lita doesn't work here. Bayley tries to remind them Lita and Becky's rivalry. Give me a second. My apologies. Lita says they're over that and she's liking the idea of walking into WrestleMania as tag champs and challenges them to a title match. Bayley says they haven't earned it yet. Becky lists her accolades and says it's enough. So now we are listing our accolades to get a championship match. Nice job. Lita says they could defend. Lita said they should defend the titles if they are the greatest. Lita suggested they are scared. Bayley accepts on behalf of the Dakota Kai and Io Sky. Oh, sorry. Her Mercedes Moné's opponent was fucking Kairi Sane. Kairi. There you go. Kairi. See, I fucked up there. My apologies there. So, Lita said they should defend the titles if they are great. Lita suggested they are scared. Bayley accepts. Lita and Becky take the title from Damage Control. They throw the belts at Kai and Io Sky. Now, you figured that they would put this match in 2 weeks in Boston with John Cena coming back. You want to stack up that show. You know, John Cena's coming back. He's about to be in a big storyline going into WrestleMania. You want to stack up that Monday Night Raw in Boston, and that's coming up in 2 weeks. No. They booked the match for next week in Michigan on Raw next week. Does Lita and Becky win the titles next week? I don't think so. I don't know. Or unless they book the match itself for WrestleMania. Candice is backstage and she says Johnny was pretty banged up. Nikki is backstage and she is stopped by Candice, who asks why is she following her. Nikki asks her to tell why. Nikki whispered something in her ear and ran away. Candice says that Nikki said all her friends are gone and she's alone. Candice then says that Johnny will be back. So we get a matchup. I mean, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening here with Nikki Cross, but I'll give it about another week before I become interested or not. Chad Gable and Bronson Reed one-on-one. Just know Bronson Reed won with the tsunami for the win. Owens was distracted by Maxine, and Chad wanted Otis's help. Didn't get it because Otis was distracted by Maxine. Chad Gable gets the tsunami, and Bronson Reed picks up the victory. Listen, I said this on Twitter. You couldn't pay me all the money in the fucking world to take the tsunami off of Bronson Reed. Fuck no. Fuck no. Austin Reed's getting ready for his match. Elias is in the ring and he asks Rick Boogs to take notice. He says this is the time of the year when stars are made and there's no other star than him. He asks who wants to walk with Elias at WrestleMania. I don't. Lashley's music hits and he comes out. He slams Elias and then slams it into the barricade and ring post. Lashley then sends him into the ring, spears him before hurting Elias with the Hurt Lock. Lashley gets in the mic and says this weekend Brock panicked and restored to a low blow. He says no one breaks the Hurt Lock, so he will not be disrespected, or he will put everyone down. I want to ask, what is Bobby Lashley doing at WrestleMania? Lashley is so damn good. What in the blue fuck is Bobby Lashley doing at WrestleMania? It's a fucking crime. The fact that we're 6 weeks off to WrestleMania and Lashley has nothing going for him. It's a fucking crime. It's a travesty. It's a fucking travesty. Edge is interviewed backstage and he says he is happy that Judgment Day is in the rear view. And it can get back to his goals. He questions whether Austin Theory has the mental ability to last in this business. He says that he hasn't held the championship in a while and is running out of time. He says his second WWE match was in the same arena in Ottawa, Canada, 18 years ago. So we get the main event. Not main event. Main event. U.S. title match, Austin Theory versus Edge. This match was good. This match was the main event of the show. This is the best match of the whole show. The match was really, really good for what it was. Austin Theory's music plays, walks out to the ring. We go to commercial. Edge's music hits. He makes his way to the ring. This match begins with Edge taking him down. He drags him out of the ring and plants him on the mat. Edge with a side Russian leg sweep, cover 1-2 kick out. We go to commercial break. Edge with a backdrop on Theory on the outside. He then dives onto him, cover 1-2 kick out. Theory fights back with a clothesline. He hits a fallaway slam, cover 1-2 kick out. Theory goes to work on Edge. Theory with a drop kick on Edge, 1-2 kick out. We go to yet another commercial break. There was 2 commercial breaks in this matchup. Theory attacks Edge. He sets Edge up for the top rope. Goes for the superplex, but Edge throws him off and hits a crossbody. Edge with a clothesline and a flapjack, cover 1-2 kick out. Edge sends Theory to the apron and Theory uses the whiplash on Edge. Theory goes for the drop kick, but Edge catches him and power bombs him, 1-2 kick out. Edge goes for the spear, but misses the spear, and Theory attempts a monkey flip. Edge lands on his feet, locks in the crossface. Theory gets to the rope. Theory rolls him up, uses the ropes, but the referee sees it. Theory attempts 8-count down, but Edge hits execution, 1-2 kick out. Finn Balor comes out and kicks Edge as Theory hits 8-count down for the win. Austin Theory retains the U.S. title in what I thought was a very good match. Following the match, Finn Balor attacks Edge viciously. He then hits a coup de grace. He goes for 2 more times, and from there the show goes off the air. Good match here between Theory and Edge to main event Monday Night Raw tonight. I said this on Saturday night, and I asked the question: is this the end of the feud between Edge and Finn Balor? No. I don't think that was the end at all. And maybe the end for Beth and Rhea Ripley, but it ain't the end for Edge and Balor. After seeing what happened tonight, we are clearly getting Hell in a Cell between Edge and Finn Balor, and I said it on Twitter, please bring back the original Hell in a Cell structure. Please. Bring that back ASAP. Because it really needs it. Next week's Raw. This is a preview for Raw next week. This is a preview of Monday Night Raw next week. We're getting Becky Lynch and Lita versus Damage Control for the Women's Tag Team titles. We're getting Candice LeRae versus Piper Niven next week. Asuka versus Carmella next week. We're getting a WrestleMania edition of Miss TV. And does Brock Lesnar show up and accept Omos's WrestleMania challenge? For the love of God, I hope not. For the love of God, I hope not. That is the preview for Raw next week in Grand Rapids, Michigan, as we are on the road to WrestleMania. This show was completely missable tonight, if you ask me. Next week's Raw, it's looking the same, folks. Next week's Raw is also looking missable next week, if you ask me. I think the biggest part of the show next week will be Becky and Lita versus Damage Control for the Women's Tag Team titles next week on Raw. Outside of that, this was a complete missable show, and if you didn't watch Raw tonight, I don't blame you. You missed absolutely nothing. Nothing at all tonight. That is it, guys, for Raw review. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you did, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below your thoughts of the show. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn that bell, guys, for all notifications. If you guys missed out on my Elimination Chamber review, it's live on the channel right now, as well as Smackdown review from this past Friday, Dynamite review from Wednesday, and Raw last Monday night's review. All these videos will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Also, down below in the description. I will see you guys on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite as we are on the road to Revolution. Should be a very good show for Revolution. Dynamite, I don't know what's going on for Dynamite on Wednesday, but no matter what happens, I'm going to cover the show right here on the channel. Till then, guys, leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video all over social media. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. I will see you guys on Wednesday for Dynamite. Until then, have a blessed night. Follow me on social media. Twitter at The Real Chris with 2 E's and 2 S's. TikTok is the same as Twitter at The Real Chris with 2 E's and 2 S's. I will see you guys on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. Till then, guys, have a blessed night. See you guys on Wednesday for Dynamite.